I'm Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. I'm here with Greg today. We're going to show you how to install a DWP 2130-61. Greg, what's this fit?
These will fit the 1961 to 67 Ford Econoline. These are for the rear cargo doors.
Now this is a two-piece kit, but you can also buy it as a left or right individually. Check our website for complete make, model, year information. Let's get started.
These are the tools you need for this project.
As you can see, these doors are no longer mounted on the van. These are our R&D doors. This is going to make it easier for us to show you the tips and tricks to replacing these seals.
With our Weatherstrip tool, we're going to use the chisel end and we're going to get the bulk of this old seal off of here.
One method you can use to take some of the old adhesive off here, take some adhesive cleaner, wet it down, and we're going to wait, let it start working on dissolving that adhesive there, and we'll go back with a rag and we'll wipe it down. Alright, so I got the rag. If it comes off a little harder, you can use your Weatherstrip stick here. To help work it loose. Now you may have to repeat this process once or twice just to make sure you get all of it off. So we got most of it off. We're going to go ahead and reapply some more and let it sit a little bit longer. Also, this time I'm going to use a slightly different cotton rag here. Now, as you're going to realize, this is a time-consuming portion of cleaning up everything. So take your time, but it's imperative that you get everything clean so it allows proper adhesion for the new part that you put on.
Now what we have here is this is the top of the driver's door. There is a pocket here that accepts the end of that seal. So we have to get the material out of that pocket. I'm going to start by using a bigger drill bit. Now, to get into the corners, I'm going to use a little smaller drill bit. Size really isn't a factor here, just smaller to get into the corners. Now, since the Weatherstrip tool will not reach in there that well, I found a rounded tip screwdriver. We're going to go ahead and work our way around the material that's in this pocket. And pulls the piece out. Now we'll finish cleaning up the rest of the debris. Again, a little bit of the adhesive remover. We'll let that sit. Now that we have the majority of the material removed, we'll show you on the other end. Now we've come to the bottom side of the driver's door. Now there is a Phillips screw that goes into a metal tab. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this screw. Now this metal tab is missing the lower leg. Now what that would do is actually grab on to the bottom of the seal and hold it up in place. What we'll end up doing is fabricating a new one, and we'll show you that when we're done. So then we'll go ahead and remove the rest of the material down in this corner also.
As you can see, all the old adhesive is off. What we did is we put that adhesive remover on there, let it sit a little bit longer, helps break down the old adhesive a little bit better, makes it a little bit easier to clean up. But if you do this way, be careful not to damage your paint. Then we went ahead with our glass cleaner, sprayed it down, wiped up all the old contamination off, so this is nice and clean. This will ensure the maximum adhesion when we put the new seal on.
We're going to start the installation of our seal onto the door. Now we are working on the driver's side door, which is a 3-sided seal. We are going to start at the top corner. Now that's the one that had the pocket for the end. So we've separated this flange from the main part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some of our Weatherstrip lube on this seal. And we're going to put that into the pocket, working it down in there. Now the reason I put the lube on the seal so it doesn't get all over the rest of the area, because we're going to, when we start to apply our adhesive. Now that we have that inserted, we'll start the adhesive process, and we'll be starting with this little flange here. We're going to use 3M Weatherstrip Adhesive and an acid brush. Now we are going to apply this material onto both surfaces. We are going to let it dry until tacky. Now do this one. And then we will apply them together. Again, I'm going to put the adhesive on both surfaces. Now that it's tacky, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and apply it to the surface. Now for this particular area, Jeff is going to apply a clamp to hold it in place. Now the other section we glued, we will go ahead, hold it in place, and then tape it down. Now we'll continue along the length.
When you put these seals on, you want to put the corners on first and work your way in. The reason for this is very flexible, and if you do it from one side to the other side, you're going to end up stretching. So right now, fits good. Now if I start here, and I'm not realizing that I'm stretching it as I put it on a little bit, and I'm pulling it like this, you know, I'm thinking I'm doing a good job. When I get here, I'm a ½ inch too long. So be aware of that, and that you want the corners first and work your way to the center.
We're going to glue this other corner in so we can work along the top section. We're going to again start by applying the adhesive to the seal. We're going to work in this molded corner area.
Now what you could do, if you are concerned about getting adhesive all over your paint, you can go ahead and run a piece of tape along right where Greg has the adhesive applied. That'll give you a nice crisp, clean line that you can remove later once the seal's glued down.
Again, we'll wait for this to tack up. Now we install the corner so it's nice and tight, and then we tape it in place.
Now this is a job you could do by yourself, but having someone help you and an extra set of hands can be a tremendous benefit.
Go back and put more on. There you go, thank you.
Yeah, make sure that you use enough. That time I didn't quite put enough
Keep
on there.
going, yep.
So don't be afraid to put some more back on. Because you have to do both sides of this, of the gasket that touches the surface of the door.
Perfect.
Now we're going to let it set up and get tacky. So we made sure we pushed it, in this case, down and then toward the door this way so it's fully seated into that corner. And Greg is taping it into place. And we'll continue on with the rest of the door. Now we have that corner on at that end of the door. Again, as you can see, this is pretty snug. That's why you put the corners on first. And I'll show you what happens if you don't. Again, this is a longer section, so it's more likely to stretch. If you start down here, you're kind of putting it on. You don't realize you're stretching it. You know, you got it nice and tight. You think you're doing a good job. Just kind of work on it. And all of a sudden, when you get down to this end, you're going to be a ½ inch too long. So again, always put your corners on first and work your way to the center.
In this section of the door, we have a couple of the body lines from the outside that transition into our door jamb. There's a couple of sharper contours. Now we are going to apply the adhesive in the same manner. Just that we are going to put additional tape in those areas to hold them into those tighter spots. All right, I'm going to put this in place. I've got my fingers pretty much where those sharper contours are. I'm going to set those sections in relatively quickly. Jeff will tape these sections down. And between the adhesive and the tape, it'll hold it, should hold it where it needs to be. Now we did get a little excessive on our adhesive. We can again use our adhesive remover when we're all finished to clean this up. All right, now down to this last corner, again on the driver's door. On the remover, remember that we took this little piece of metal out. It was deteriorated, so we remanufactured a replacement. Now we will go ahead and install, as always, with adhesive. Don't need it there, just here and here. Yep. And on the bottom. the door. This side too. Perfect. And we're going to kind of line this seal up where it needs to go. We're going to put the clip in about this position. Now we'll go ahead and install this corner. Now Jeff will be working on that side, and then I will work with this clip install. So I can get that hole lined up. And if you want to push that seal down with that. And I'll insert that Phillips screw into a little bracket. And again, with the bracket and the adhesive, that'll hold this corner into place. And now we'll finish the rest of the door. Now we're going to install the seal on our passenger side rear cargo door. It is a four-sided seal. There is an orientation to it. On this lower corner, you will have this cutout that coincides with this bump out of the metal. And then on the handle side of the door, you will have a bigger profile. On the hinge side of this door is a thinner U-shaped profile. Now we'll go ahead and install the seal. Now that we have the Weatherstrip installation completed, we will be leaving this tape in place per the adhesive manufacturer's recommendation.
Follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can have more videos like this one.